Hey guys, heading to campus now, getting ready for the exam. My time for the exam is at 12:55. It is 12:12 right now. I'm gonna get there in like 2 minutes. Want to get there kind of early, prepare myself, calm down the nerves a little bit. I'm gonna go through possible diagnoses for possible symptoms. If for some reason you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm on my way to take an OSCE exam, which is an exam on patient encounters. So I have to see a patient for 15 minutes. Within those 15 minutes, I have to do a patient interview, a physical exam, and come up with diagnoses and possible tests and imaging to run on the patient. After that, I have 10 minutes to write a patient note, which is everything that I just did, and a little summary called a SOAP note, and then I'm graded on that. So I have to do that twice. There's 2 different patients. They're SPs, by the way. They're not like actual patients with actually things wrong with them. They are standardized patients, which are hired actors. But it's best not to think of them as hired actors. It's best to think of them as actual patients. So you go through the motions as you're supposed to, and you do it properly. After those 2 SP encounters, I have a skills exam, which is I can get tested on one of 3 skills, either IV placement, pelvic exam, or endotracheal intubation. I'm pretty comfortable when it comes to practical exams. I'm not nearly as nervous as I'll be on Friday for the written exam. I'll let you guys know how it goes. Oh yeah, and in the meantime, if you're new to this channel, you probably don't know that I really want to be a surgeon. I've signed up for the American College of Surgeons, the national organization as well, and I'm currently registering for the Florida chapter. I'm in Florida right now. They have an annual meeting next week Friday, so I'm gonna head up to Orlando to go to that. That should be really cool, really interesting. I've already paid my due for my membership as a medical student, which is $10, and then I have to register. They have to approve my membership, and then I can register for the annual meeting. Okay guys, it's over. How do I feel? I don't know, how do I feel? You know how you come from an exam and you only think of what you did bad? I'm trying to stop doing that. The first room, I forgot to ask the patient if they had any questions, and something else. I didn't ask about sexual history. In the second room, I also didn't ask about sexual history. I asked if he was married and if he had any kids, but I didn't ask him if he was sexually active. The thing is, they didn't pertain to the case. The diagnoses that I came up with, it wasn't relevant or not if you were having sex. Like, it was nowhere in any of my diagnoses, it was nowhere near a sexually transmitted disease, you know? So for me, I guess I didn't think it was relevant, so I didn't ask about it. If someone came in and they had like a pain in their knee, I would ask about sexual history. For the cases I had, no, I'm not gonna talk about the cases I had. It's an exam, guys, come on. It wasn't relevant. For the skills portion, you guys know it was one of 3 procedures. I did one that I thought I was comfortable with. I did everything that I was supposed to do, but the instructor, the preceptor, whatever they're called, he made it seem like I bombed it. Like he, like, I don't know, like when I saw it, I was like, oh great, I'm good at this. When I was doing it, I was like, oh great, I'm good at this, I know what I'm doing. But after, when he was talking to me, I was like, what? I know what I'm doing. What? So he made me severely doubt myself, and yeah, we don't get our grade back for 5 weeks, so I won't know for a very long time if I passed or failed. They say it's really hard to fail, and I did everything I'm supposed to do, so I'm positive I didn't fail, but I want to know what I got. So tips to remember for the OSCE exam: always knock before you enter the room, always drape the patient, always sit down, take notes but not too many notes. You don't want to just be looking at your paper the whole time, you know, writing a book or something. Empathy, always. Rapport, always. Oh, shake their hand when you walk into the room. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. Shake their hand when they walk into the room, no matter what. Like, I had a patient who was like really holding his body because he was in pain. Still reach out your hand. He might not grab it, but at least he reached out your hand. They say always wash your hands, but honestly that takes a long time. So always hand sanitize your hands. Always thank the patient for coming in to visit. Always ask if they have any questions. Most likely they're gonna have a question, so always ask if they have any questions. Always give them the diagnosis. Don't let them leave the office and not be able to say what the doctor thinks they have. More than one diagnosis if you can. I'd say shoot for 2. In your note, the patient note that you have to write, you're supposed to come up with 3 diagnoses. So if you could come up with 3 right there to tell the patient, sure, why not? And remember, when you're giving diagnoses, it's always least scary to most scary. So if the person has a history of alcohol abuse and comes in for abdominal pain, you're gonna say, from least to worst, you're gonna say GERD, worst: acute pancreatitis, pancreatic cancer, chronic pancreatitis. I mean, it really depends on the presentation. Physical exams, if someone is feeling pain, always start palpating away from the pain. But yeah, that's all I can think of at the top of my head. Tomorrow is my last day at the doctor's office. I'm gonna buy some thank you cards for them, maybe get some candy, just something to show like I really appreciate it. Honestly, those people in the office were the best to us. Like, I've heard some terrible stories from other students for the doctor's offices that they've been in, and these girls, every single person, from the receptionist to the office manager to the lab tech. Okay guys, so as you saw, I just picked up some candy, some gift bags, some fillers for gift bags, and thank you cards.